the time to drop this rhyme, cause something's on my mind. Just like the flowers need a honeybee and birds need a tree. I need to have you with me. Cause you're the beat in my heart and the sun in my shine. 24/7, yo, I got you on my mind. Eric and Anson, tell them what it's all about. Tell them about the love that we can't live without.
Hi everyone, it is Thursday. It is 7 p.m. and my name is Mary Moo. So for the next hour, I am going to be with you and we are going to be having another good show. We've got another good topic to discuss and some great music, yeah? So welcome everybody. If you don't know me, I like to have good conversations about topical issues and I like to listen to some good music. And we are going to start off with some tunes that kind of, They're throwbacks. Well, for me, they are. Some people might be like, this is really not that old. But for me, it is. Because there was a time when I didn't actually listen to gospel music. And actually, I had a couple of people who lent me or gave me their mixtapes. And that's how I started kind of thinking, this is really palatable. I really quite like this. I can dance to this. I quite like this. It's not cheesy, you know. And so I thought, we're going to do a throwback with some tunes. We're going to start off with a song. When I first heard it, I thought she really reminds me of a bit like Missy Elliott, you know. I quite liked her. I played this over and over and over again. I remember in my car. So it's called Incredible, and the artist is Jay. And then we're going to go back a bit more to Phase 2. Does anybody remember Phase 2? So Phase 2, they're a part of the whole Winans gang, and this song, I really, really like this song. So we're going to be playing a bit of Phase 2. Then we're going to go even more further back to Let the Redeemed by a group called Virtue. That's a girl group, a girl R&B gospel. And I really like that song. It just really, really resonates to me. So, where do we go from here? Let's start off with Incredible. Then we're going to go to by Jay. Then we're going to do Phase 2. Then we're going to do Virtue. And then we're going right back because we're going to spin things a bit more current before we have our interview. So let's go with Incredible.
Incredible.
Let's get it. Hey Jay, I keep trying to tell him he's so incredible. Oh, that's who we be. That's just who we be. That's who we be. That's just who we be. Let's go in, Jay. Yep, that is he. Yep, that is he. Yeah. Oh. Like ketchup on my fries, you my main squeeze. You know I take that back, you the main course. You the only one I live, I move, I breathe for. You amazing, you fantastic. I can be a Barbie girl, but I ain't plastic. I'm elastic, you stretch me. And even when it hurts, keep testing me. Because you're good, because you're great. When I shout your name, it resonates. From the mountaintops, north, south, east, west, all around the globe. You're incredible, just like the Hulk. But you ain't need a green, you the Lord of hosts. You're amazing, you're fantastic, so phenomenal, you're majestic. What you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with you. What you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you, I wanna be with you. I wanna be but you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with ya. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E, if you're bad as he. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E, that's who we be. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E, if you're bad as he. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-B-L-E, that's who we be. Yep, you the bomb, boom dynamite. Like I
God, you so big and full of knowledge. And I ain't talking big like Chris Wallace. I'm talking infinite. You shine bright. Let's hop on eagle's wings and take a flight up through the clouds and past the stars, through the Milky Way, then back down to Mars. You made it all, just for your glory. You eternal God, never end the story. He's Adonai, he sit on high, made the air I breathe, to the air I fly. You amazing, that's to say the least. From my block to your block, man, my God reach. They say I'm so hood, but I tell them no. I used to sell them dope, but now I bring them hope. Cause he rock your boy, like DC talk. Now you see God in me, so watch him walk.
Lord, you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with you. Lord, you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you, I wanna be with you. I wanna be with you, I wanna be with you. Lord, you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with you. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-A-L-E, get that tree. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-A-L-E, that's what we say. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-A-L-E, get that tree. I-N-C-R-E-D-I-A-L-E, that's what we say. That's what we say. That's what we say. Lord, you are incredible, your wisdom is infallible. There is no one better, I wanna be with you.
Incredible, incredible, incredible.
Now part of living right is being prepared to fight. That means there's gonna be sleepless nights in this walk with Christ. Yeah, yeah. But Lord, you know, anytime, day, night, I'll go. Even if my own mother says no, I'm your son, I'll go. Ooh, anyway you lead, yes I will, yeah. If you need somebody, Lord, I'll go. If nobody else wants to go, say it, Lord, it's alright. I'm right there. Anyway you lead, I'll follow. If you need somebody, Lord, always there. If nobody else wants to go, say it, Lord, it's alright. Now I'll be glad to go and let the whole world know what it takes to be saved for sure, and that they must endure. Whoa, whoa. So with my word in hand, I'll spread it through the land. With the power of prayer, I can reach the souls out there, yeah. And for the ones that don't, then I will be wherever He leads, yeah. Even if I had to fall down, it's alright with me. Good God Almighty, anywhere you lead,
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoy those songs. My name is Mary Moo, and every Thursday from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, I am here on Ruach Radio, and we are listening to some music and we are having conversations. And right now, I've played some songs that I call throwback songs. I used to listen to them. We started off with Incredible by Jay, and then we went to Phase 2, Winans Phase 2. I think these were the younger brothers or something of the whole Winans group. And that song was It's Alright, Send Me, however you want to do it. And then we went to Virtue, Let the Redeemed. So it's I just love those songs because they remind me of a time when I was coming into the faith and really kind of looking back at some songs and really appreciating the artistry and just loving music, for what it was. So yeah, that's that. But we are going to be talking today about success and struggles. That's the title of this whole show today, Success and Struggles. Because, well, on social media, or even if you go on YouTube, it can seem from some of the adverts or some of the things that people post that all you need to do is attend a course, and then just by implementing their 5 steps or their 5Ks or their 5 Ps, you're going to be immediately successful. I mean, that's all you need. And why haven't you done it? Or, boss babe this, you can do this, and all of a sudden you've made it and you can make it and it's possible and off you go. And the reality of it is that people go ahead and they do that and they wonder why it isn't working for them, because the whole thing, a lot of it is a facade. It's not even true or not even real. I'm not saying that some people can't go from 0 to 1 million in a day. It can happen. But we're looking at the mass majority and why some people wonder and wonder why they haven't made it. And I say so because I actually co-own a community interest company where we deliver workshops for people who want to get into business. And one of the mandates from the council were you need to have, before you start any workshop, a wellness portion and almost like a highlight the realism in what actually entrepreneurship is all about, because they really want to push entrepreneurship and really, really encourage it, especially even if you are creative. And I think that's brilliant and encouraging. But to me, it's interesting that they want good quality entrepreneurs who have a realistic view on what running a business is all about. But also it's sort of coupled with the whole wellness factor, to be aware of what it can do to you, what it can be. It can be very, very stressful. And today I'm having a conversation with somebody who is successful, who was able to turn her £200 a week side hustle literally into a £1 million business. She was featured in the Times. She's multi-award winning, and it's so funny when you listen to the interview to see how literally it was a side hustle. She had no intentions of doing it. Like, that was not what she kind of grew up doing. She fell into it and was able to grow this into an incredible business. But it's good to hear the struggles of how she copes, especially as somebody who has a relationship with God, how she's able to navigate things through really, really tough times, the things that you don't sometimes see on social media. And to be honest, I'm probably guilty of the same thing as well. We all do. We all want to post our best bits, not sometimes the worst parts of what it can take. And I think that's very essential to encourage people who are young, as well as anybody who's older or younger, whatever, to get into business, to understand it's not for everybody, but anybody can do it, but it's not for everybody. I think I'll phrase it that way, because you have to understand that there is a lot that goes into it. Even if you look biblically at people who were successful, look at their journeys to get to where they got to sustain what they had. It's no wonder why we need the Spirit of God to help us to continue to produce excellence and do what we do. So I'll stop nattering. We'll listen to some music now, and then we'll go straight into the interview, because I do think it's worth you doing. So please stick around for that. And I'm going to be playing this song by a great artist, very unconventional. If I was to say, I'll tell you a bit more about her. Her name is called Hee Sun Lee. She is a rapper. And of course she's Asian, so already it's like an Asian female rapper, but trust me, this track is good. And I like this one because it sets the stage for the interview. It's female empowerment film, great music by someone who just people wouldn't expect to do something like this. So let's listen to Hee Sun Lee with Future, and then we'll be straight into the interview, and I'll see you around.
Listen, take a look around, what we dealing with. All these rappers sound the same, no appealingness. Ain't nobody feeding souls, there's no meal in this. Robbing people's futures, we getting good at stealing this. I've been rhyming from the get-go, I rap low. Mission still the same, never changing, you could bet, bro. What defines success nowadays? We're the future, this is our days. All these rappers tripping now, they on a power craze. Think they run the world, cause some people like to shower praise on their lifestyle. This ain't nothing new, it's a shame we still live the same, ain't nothing grew. Let's talk about it, see a female rapper doing right. But they don't care, so you'll never see us roll the mic. If I ain't stripping down, then I lose tonight. So these dudes is right, women only matter if they choose this life. This our day and age, I ain't playing games. All these women who support this, I ain't saying names. Just go about your business. Your money be in shape, but your morals need some fitness. Women need to unify, I hear that all the time. But then they drop the B word in almost all they rhymes. Yo, they for real, tell me how this works. You go first, why you thinking you don't make this problem worse? Telling all these young faces they don't matter. Money, looks, and sex is the way you climb your ladder. You shatter every dream you have of being something special. Your heart is pumping, but you got a couple broken vessels. Yo, I could never do what they be doing. Every day I remind myself what I'm pursuing. People said I'm fake cause I'm an Asian rapper, but here I'm trying to save hip-hop, that's what I'm going after. Yeah, and they say that lyricism died. Well, I'ma bring it back to life, watch this song revive. Every mind hypnotized by these current trends. See what music needs to stop streaming, that current ends. Yeah, I hope you got that. I got love for every female, I don't knock that. And if you trying to change the game, don't ever stop that. Make a difference with the industry, don't wanna block that. Yeah, let's think about our future. Let's think about what we doing here. Whole generation talking to us, are we fluent here? Let's make it blue in here. Sky's the limit, got my whole crew in here. On a mission, never stop and do it bigger. Yeah, it's time you're moving here. Yeah, it's time you're moving here. Yeah, mira du we head, tuja every day. I'm on Bogo Dal, you got a right path, booty hanging. Kwago eso boso nada finale. Dami hulini dang eso set saki nane. Let's be better. Don't be a spectator. Make your steps greater. You can rest later. Let's do this. Yeah, it's a rap. This how I got my story in. No longer am I worrying. You see me rapping Korean, I see the future pouring in. It's pouring and pouring, and take this DeLorean flying high, that's what you saw me. And my future's up on the screen auditorium. Never look to the past like an historian. They told me to switch it up, be relevant. They told me to switch it up, be relevant. Spit like a mumble rapper.
Hey everybody, so we are now at the point of the show where I get to interview a guest, and I have been talking about it earlier on in the show about interviewing somebody who, you know, is successful in what they're doing. It's successful in their careers, and what I wanted to do is find out the struggles that come attached with that, how they can lean on God to really get through those struggles, and what success actually looks like. Because we do know that Instagram and social media can make it look very, very glamorous, make it look very easy, like every single body is successful and balling out there. But if we look at the statistics and look at the reality of things, that isn't the case. Statistically, 50% of businesses fail. But the good thing is 50% of businesses that do start, they do succeed. And that brings me to speaking to Oyin about Neo Group. So welcome. Welcome, Oyin. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It really is a pleasure. And the reason why I really wanted to speak with you is because, there's lots of careers out there that people want to do. Tech is one of them. And what I love about that is that you're a girl, you're female, and you're in a male-dominated industry. So can you just let us know quickly, how did you get into tech, and how did you know this is the thing that you wanted to do? Let us know, please. Go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you so much once more. In terms of how I knew this is what I wanted to do. I actually think that I call it like a faithful accident. I started my journey in tech through my economics degree. So I did economics degree to the master's level. I was really passionate about development and how the role of women in developing economies. But at the same time, on the side, I used to like braid hair. So I gained the clientele of over 1,000 women and
Wow.
the amount of years. And like during all of that stuff and the woman sitting on my chair and us having conversation coupled with my research and also coupled with prayer, I realized that the only way where a woman can be empowered is for them to be builders. And so the Lord, the book of Exodus, I believe is in chapter 33, where he speaks about Bezalel and Oholiab building the temple and the kind of makeup that they had to have. And they had to have like the right spirit, knowledge, understanding, wisdom, and all manner of skills to be able to build the temple. And the Lord kind of said to me that this is what I want you, this is how I want you to, nurture the next generation of Black women, really. And so so I realized that in order for us to build, we have to build with technology, advance the society to essentially impact the culture that we're in and to change the face of the culture that we're in. And so, yeah, that's how I knew. As I said, accidental and faithful accidents.
I love that. And what I love about what you said is reading that scripture about people being filled to build. I say that they were filled to build and skilled to do things. The Spirit of God was upon them. And it's very important because one thing is God does demand excellence and he wants us to do things properly. And he wants us to be the best in what we can do, not coming out with just anyhow. He wants his people to be known and recognized in the industry as being skillful and as being like you said, being able to build great things. So I love that. And I love that your focus is women, is predominantly Black women, because again, we know the stereotypes and the generalizations that comes with that. So I love that God's called you to something like that. And you talked about obviously hair and tech. So how did you decide to kind of bring the two together? Because I've seen obviously that your group of companies that you have, there are three main companies, if I'm correct. There's three main companies. We've got the tech, we've got your hair and beauty, and you've got the NFTs, the app, the boot camp that you train. Is that am I correct with that?
Yeah, so we have three brands, and actually we're kind of currently going down the road of becoming a group of Web3 companies. And what that means is right now the internet is at something called the Web2 phase, where we read, write, and we process, but we're moving into like Web3 company where everybody in the ecosystem would be able to also earn as part of that process. So on Instagram now, you don't earn for scrolling on Instagram. As a natural like user. So what we want to do is to have an ecosystem of brands where people can earn as they participate in the buying process, and essentially making people producers. So yeah, how did hair become a group of companies? That's an interesting question. So I would say like hair for me was based upon a problem that I saw in my home when I moved from Nigeria to the UK. My mom would pay lots of money for me and my sister to get our hair done. And I just thought it was ridiculous. I thought, do you know what, Mom? Let me braid my own hair and let me braid my sister's hair. Because we had like stewards in Nigeria, and she, like the steward that we had, she became like an auntie to me, and she used to, that was her craft, and she used to braid people's hair. So I learned a lot by observation, and I never kind of practiced really. But I thought, you know what, I kind of saw what this was, so let me do myself. And people saw my sister's hair, and that's go from one client to 10 to from 10 to 100, and then just kept going up like that. And so so one of the things I've been always passionate about is sustainability and building to last. And I realized that I continue to do this, and I was like, okay, I built this to this place, and even if I'm not going to do it, and I had this kind of idea that I wasn't going to be the one doing this hair. I don't do hair anymore, really. But like, I was like, you know what? I must be able to train people.
Yeah.
And do more people's hair.
Mm.
We started training people. We did a 12-week program. It wasn't anything serious. And actually, one of the ladies was a 7-year-old, and now she's about 13.
Mm.
Now she has her own set of clients that come all the way from London,
Wow.
to Nottingham to braid, and she's doing really well for herself, bless her, at 13. And she made her first like £2,000 last year. And so for me, that's really like impactful.
Yeah.
So yeah, like my plan was to literally train people. They would just take over my clients, and it would be done through this mechanism of technology. And I was just going to pursue my dreams of becoming an economist and eventually becoming the president of Nigeria. That was literally the
I
path
love that.
that I wanted to go down. Like genuinely, like I only dropped that dream. Well, I won't say it's dropped. I'll say like paused.
Mm.
So when I was 22, and so like in that path, really like looking for people to build the technology, and I couldn't find anybody that could understand what I was trying to build, and to build it in a way that it would really be impactful
Yeah.
for the community. And I thought, you know what? Like, why don't we get us to build it? And I remember, um, one of the things that I did was this kind of woman, like I did this conference called Beyond Hair, it was a summit.
Mm-hmm.
And that conference came about because lots of people asked me questions, and I'll end up helping a lot of people with their business plans. And I just got really tired of doing that. Because again, as I said, something that I wanted to genuinely, like me personally, wanted to do. I just wanted to focus on my economics career. I thought, you know what, let's put together a summit and get experts to come and help everybody. And I put together like this, like a journal, where
Yeah.
it was basically like a sprint business plan that you could write in the space of that event, and then you can keep yourself accountable and each other accountable for what you wrote down, and that way you have that kind of blueprint.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially, so we did the first one and I thought that would be it, but then people said, let's do it again, so we did it again. And then people were like, let's do it again, and we did it again. And every time I'll pray about the theme, and the Lord told me that the theme for that year, so the third year that we would do it, was the connectivity of digital technology to creativity, hair, and beauty. And I thought, what the heck? But also I knew that, I was also trying to build this technology, and I needed people that understood it to build it. So we decided, we'll do a coding class. We did a coding class, and that one workshop with 40 women has now turned into 560 women upskilled.
Wow.
That's I have this big mission of 1 million women in the next 5 years to be upskilled. And so so that's how the bootcamp business started. And again, it's pivoting into like for us to be able to achieve that 1 million, we're going to need to have a technology machine that builds that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's how that started. The hair and beauty side of things has always been there. And actually now we're building the tech that we've always wanted to build. Build it. So we're building an augmented reality first kind of salon here in Birmingham. But it's underpinned around you being able to have the right tools to be able to maintain your hair. So so for example, if you wanted to learn how to cane row, you'd be able to come to cane row, and we could come to your house, or you can come to our studio spaces. And also you can get like innovative hair products all through this one technology platform. So that's the second thing. But again, as we were kind of building both businesses, speaking to influencers, and just seeing the mismatch between influencers, brands, and users, and the kind of gamble that brands almost have to play when it comes to
I know.
is a lot. So I thought, why don't we create a social platform where that trust is very transparent? You can see the relationship between the three parties, and essentially build a different type of Instagram or different type of Pinterest, where essentially you would be able to upload your content. I can try on the stuff that you're wearing, whether your hair, your makeup, your clothes, and then you can mint that content and you get the raw products. So what I mean by mint, I'll explain in a minute. You get the real products, and essentially that content becomes like an NFT. For those that don't know what NFT means, NFT is a non-fungible token. It's a unique item. And that piece of content is a unique item. No matter how much I try to take a picture like that, I'm never going to be able to take that picture. And so it's like almost like your content is an asset. over time,
Yeah.
but the products, they still get those products. And also you'll be able to see the transparency of every single person playing on the ecosystem, seeing how brands work with influencers and vice versa, to see whether it's something that you can trust. Because right now we see influencers promoting things online, and we kind of, as usual, we gamble. Brands also gamble with influencers.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. We've paid influencers ourselves with, sometimes with in our brand with, you think they have a considerable amount of followers, like sometimes millions, and there's nothing in return. Whereas you can work with someone who's probably considered a micro influencer, the gamble is actually better than the one that you would think is going to be more successful. So I know that journey. So all this innovation that you're talking about, it's appealing even to brand owners, like actually this can work, because like you said, it's not nice to be gambling with money, because actually these influencers want a lot of money sometimes to promote something. They're not cheap, let's put it that way. And gambling that every time is something you have to kind of step back sometimes and really consider. So yeah, I love this. I love the innovation, what you're doing, and it's so of the future and so now that dresses a need. Like that's why I just absolutely love it, because it's what's in the future that will meet needs, but it's now, it's like it's needed. And I've always said to people, when you have something like a package or a brand or a business or something that is what people need and want, it's just a nice harmony that hopefully should effectively take off. But your companies, I know you're just talking about what you do, they are award winning. It's you have substance and credibility to your brands. I'm correct, aren't I, that you're award winning? You've won awards, sis, for
yes, we have. Yeah, so we're multi award winning. We've won awards like the Barclays Social Award. We've also won awards like the Great British Entrepreneurs Award, a fashion and retail category. We've won Channel Company's Women in Tech Excellence Award.
Yeah,
like a lot of different awards, probably about 10 or so by this point.
Incredible.
Yeah,
absolutely incredible. And it's so wonderful to see someone like, I love the beginning of just a need of, I'm not going to be paying for someone to be doing this. And now look where we are with a multi-award winning group of companies. And what I wanted to ask you is, through all of this, it seems like a breeze, because it does seem like it when you tell the testimony effectively of what's happened. But were there any struggles or any situations where you felt like, God, what on earth have you called me to? I was reading this morning about even in Exodus this morning, when God sent Moses off to Pharaoh, and off he went after he'd rehearsed all the miracles and stuff, and Pharaoh made it worse for the people. And he comes back, and because they're all moaning at him, and he comes back and like, God, look, you haven't delivered them. This seems like the worst decision of life. So I wondered if you can identify in any way and talk us through how you got out of that and how God helped you to continue this journey.
Yeah, I think, do you know what, like every day I'm very intentional about keeping a posture of thanksgiving, keeping a posture of gratitude, but it doesn't mean that it's not tough though. I don't know, like I was saying to someone the other day, like because I'm currently going through another tough time, but I know that it's going to pass. But I think like keeping that kind of posture of gratitude, but also seeking God for what season I'm in, understanding where he's taking me and getting his insight ahead, because he always tells me ahead. Well, most gives me that kind of strength to keep going. Where a lot of people look at me and say, "Oh, I want to become like you," but I don't know if they're built. I don't know if you're built to become this really, because you're crumbling on some things. I don't know if you're built, so you're gonna need to exercise your faith muscle. To be able to kind of aspire. Like there's nothing wrong being we've been inspired. I think it's just more like everybody has their calling. I actually don't believe that everybody needs to be an entrepreneur. That some people actually need to be 9-to-5ers. Some people need to work in the charity sector. Like we all have different callings in life. So I'll give you an example.
Please.
Sure. So in on the third, remember I spoke about the Beyond Hair event. I remember God spoke to me about this event, and it was going to be the biggest that it's ever been. We had about 350 women. We'd never done such a thing in Birmingham, because I went to uni in Nottingham, so we always did events in Nottingham. People knew us in Nottingham. but this time we did it in Birmingham, and we didn't realize how different it was going to be in terms of like, it was just, Birmingham was different. I don't like, when you're coming into Birmingham, it's just a different
Vibe.
vibe.
Yeah.
And people are not immediately welcome if they don't trust you, which is fair enough.
Mhm.
But so that was one, and we had 350 women there. We had it at the Millennium Point. The Lord told me to go to do it at the Millennium Point. We had lots of sponsors promise, and I won't even mention the sponsors name because they're big names. And like I was texting some of the managing director of these sponsors, like we had a relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of them verbally sponsored. This is the time I didn't know much about legals. And I was like, yeah, they said yes. So that means, so, you know, they're doing it. And a lot of them fell through. Nothing happened. And so I was in £27,000 debt. I was still doing my master's. Didn't have any money to pay for the debts that I had. But the Lord said to me, I should make the tickets free. Imagine.
Wow.
Make the rest of the tickets free, which is, you just do what God says you should do, right?
Yeah, of course.
With me not knowing how to pay £27,000 debt. And I remember speaking to my business coach, and she thought, are you mad? Like, but she also understood, you know, if this is what God is saying to you, I can't really knock that. So
Yeah.
whoever God said to you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went ahead and I did that. And it was through that we were able to secure our first 6-figure contract. And so I've
Wow.
God, you know, come through, not just, you know, like we expect miracles, but through diligence, and his word is always
Yeah.
true. And I go through those types of things at different milestones of the business, and I don't expect I'm not going to go through it again. That's just that's just because, you know, like a lot of times as Christians, we're saying you will never go through such a thing. No, like part of the journey.
It will come. Many are the afflictions of the righteous.
It will come, yeah.
Many.
It's just like, I just know that this is like preparation for the next season when I something like, you know, a difficult time coming in. Sometimes it's not a changing thing. Sometimes it's actually demonic. So you have to like speak it. But like I sometimes I can discern when I know that God is about to take me to a next level, and there's like a war over the next level. So yes, that's an example.
That's a wonderful that's such a wonderful example, and I'm just conscious of time, but I know that's a wonderful example, because it's so funny, because you were in the press talking about how you turned your hustle up to 1 million. So it's almost like hearing this backstory of how you know, people fell, or sponsors fell through, landed in debt. You said, I'm going to take your word for it. Then you land your first 6-figure contract, and then the next minute we're hearing that actually you've taken it up to 1 million, and everyone's reading about the success of your company. They don't know like the journey where it's come from. And I like what you said. It's such an encouragement that, come on guys, we're Christians, and if this is what you say God has called you to be in terms of being an entrepreneur, there are definitely lows, and your faith muscle has got to be strong to take you through. But I love something that seems to be constant with what you're saying, is your relationship with God, hearing God speak. And that is evident when you look at Hebrews 11, when you look at all the people who we hail as people who walked in faith. Every single one of them heard God, and they took action of what God had said. And as you said, some of them were ridiculed, like Noah, and people, or just question, like, why are you doing that? But I think, like you said, your circle have learned that if God has said something, they have to back off, because it might seem outlandish and strange to so many, but God, who sees the end from the beginning, we are called to trust him for that. So I thank you so much for that, because it's so important for everyone to hear that, especially those who are saying they want to be in business, and to, like you said, to really consider if this is what God's called you to do, because there's so many other careers that's probably easier for you to go into.
Yes,
but if I tell people all the time,
easier.
trust me, easier.
People think of the million pound company, but they don't think about the fact that I have 28 people's families to feed, you know, and that's a lot of pressure. Can everyone handle that? I don't know. So it's there's a lot of these. It's so many easier routes to go down. As glamorous as people think it is.
Exactly. Any last words to encourage anybody before
Yeah,
you go off?
I think, my last words really is, like, please just pursue what God calls you to do. I think that in today's day and age, a lot of things are driven by envy, in a subtle way. And so it's really important that we check our hearts every single day. That this venture that I'm trying to go into, is it because X and Y has done it and I'm envious to do it, or is it because I truly believe, and this resonates with me, because if you lead things from envy, it's not gonna last, unfortunately.
Yes.
Because like even if you wanted to go down the route of looking for investors can always look for if you care deeply about that need. So yeah, really important for us to pursue our purpose and do it with God, you know, every step of the way, and let Him guide us every step of our way. So yeah, that's my last piece of advice.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic. So I hope you've heard and you've gained things, and you've taken all these gems and these nuggets and understood that with success, there does come struggle, but alongside that, there is faith and a great relationship with God that will see you through. So thank you very much, Oyin. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you guys for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
You take care.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. I really thoroughly loved speaking with Oyin for this interview. It was just great to take away some practical things in terms of building one's faith and how much faith is really needed in one's entrepreneurial journey. It's such a great part of it, and it's really encouraged me, and I hope it's done the same for you. If you have just tuned in, my name is Mary Moo, and this is the Mary Moo Show, and I'm here every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m, having conversations with guests like Oyin, where we really get to talk about topical things and things that I feel are great to share and great to understand a bit more about, because I like to come and learn and gain and to really delve deep and ask some questions so we can all succeed, we can all do good. So we've been talking about success and struggles and how to cope with struggles as you become an entrepreneur, you're on your journey, you want to build a business or any life, but how much faith as well really helps, and how much having a relationship with God, hearing God, really, really helps. And you know me, if you've been listening to the show, you know that I love that kind of thing. So please stick around for the next one. Again, like I said, I'm here every Thursday, and it's going to be good fun as usual. But we're going to end with a great song. It's a lifting one. And I like when I read about, what was the makings of this song. It was about just being free from whatever let you down, held you down, being free. And the director of the video said, you'll see where anytime they said the word freedom, everyone's hands were lifted. And it really, really is to emphasize the point that, yes, you can be free. So this is John Batiste with Freedom, and I will see you same time next week.
Just like this, I don't know why, but I feel like freedom. I hear a song that takes me back, and I let go with so much freedom. Freedom, I'm gonna get, 'cause it's my freedom. up to the stars. I know exactly who we are. 'Cause then I see you shine, you shining, you shining.
Everybody come on, everybody come on now. Everybody.
I'm stuck to the dance floor with the whole team. With the whole team. I'm stuck to the dance floor with the whole team. With the whole team. You get what you asked for, giving you the whole shit. I'ma give you the whole shit. I'm stuck to the dance floor with the whole team.